difficulty. Now we're back. Hope you were able to come back. In the meantime, really what I want to do is starting from the beginning is the topic today is call to action. And I believe the key is most people don't have one. The people who have one don't really have the right one and don't know how to use it properly. And, and there's another flip side to having what your call to action is, which I'll go over. So the key point here with call to action is if you create a quality post, article, video, whatever it is you're publishing on LinkedIn, if someone really enjoys it, if someone's intrigued by you and your ideas, and hopefully you're building thought leadership along the way, what's their next step? How are they going to know what you offer, what they can do to communicate with you, maybe sample, a PDF or whatever you have available that's easy to share. And most importantly, the ultimate call to action should have a Zoom call. So, why don't people do it? Well, I think in a lot of cases, they don't know how to do it. They don't even know what it means. They're just trying to figure out LinkedIn. There's so many people at the starting gate and so many few people at the finish line. LinkedIn's a long game and people have short patience. So, how do you get to see enough positive activity and results in order to have confidence and belief in the opportunity in yourself? And the way to do that is to get people to do something you want them to do for you. When you present a post or an article, what you're really doing is sharing your thoughts. And I think that's the differentiating factor between people who just share stuff, think people may want to see. Their goal is hitting the hammer and banging the gong, and being able to see, did I get 300 viewers? Did I get 40 comments? Well, without relevancy, who cares? To win a contest that has no currency and actually, in some ways, motivates the same type of activity because you're getting vanity numbers, you're feeling everybody loves you, everybody thinks you're great as far as content. But in reality does that align with the reason you're here? And some people, what is the reason you're here? They just walk down a path thinking it already has its own direction. So, that's what I see is you owe people the opportunity to continue to get to know you better, get to know more of you and what you do, because at the end of the day, it is all about building trust, confidence, likability, visibility, accessibility. There's a lot of abilities here, and taking action on all of them help you. Whether you realize it or not, because you're just like me sitting in front of a computer, one person with one person looking back at you, which is you, and trying to share with others. But in essence, you're in a huge foot race. There's 810 million people who could be on the track. 5%, I don't know, 10%, whatever, it's a small percentage, actually do anything. Out of that, the greater percentage don't do anything well. That leaves a very small percentage. And then take that to the point of being consistent, because activity trumps everything else. When people say it's content, content comes with activity, because the only way you get relevant content is through feedback. If you're living in a vacuum and you got your blinders on and all you do is share you and you're not evolving, why would anybody want to be with an unevolving person? Makes no sense. So, the best thing you can do, and there's a belief that you're the factor of the 5 people you spend the most time with. Well, who are the 5 people you spend the most time with on LinkedIn? Add them all up, divide by 5, that's you. Is that the you want? If not, disassociation can be the answer. Build up those 5. What I've done with Mike Weiss, who is a visionary and a great unknown uh, LinkedIn genius, is put together a LinkTank mastermind group. And we had our first meeting last week, great attendance, tremendous value discussion for an hour, which we do every week. And if you're interested in building those 5, you already have them when you join. And the deal's great. I don't want to be salesy. This is about call to action. That's actually my call to action. And getting back to your own call to action. So there's one call to action that you put at the end of your post to say, if you like this and would like to learn more, give that person an opportunity to get back with you. That's what you're there for, hopefully. The other one is, what's your call to action that you take advantage of every day? How proactive are you? How much success do you want? How much work are you willing to put in to get it? If you're going to work 6-7 hours a week on relevant stuff and 40 hours a week on fluffy stuff, like sharing pictures of flowers and trips and blah, 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 who's going to do business with you? You look like a spender. You look like all you do is spend and you don't make, right? So anyways, just an aside, getting back to your own call of action, you need a strategy, you need a plan, you need a good strategy, you need a good plan. And most people come in, LinkedIn doesn't give you a guidebook, doesn't give you a roadmap. And you kind of think like, hey, it's like a shopping mall. Just go in and collect things, get more people, hope somehow what you're not doing for anybody, someone's going to do for you, right? How many people are you reaching down to and giving them a helping hand? In the meantime, you're sitting out there with your billboard or your little one hook in the water, waiting for someone who doesn't know you, and you're part of 810 million people to all of a sudden give you the opportunity of a lifetime while you're sitting there waiting for them who naturally are in a position to do what you can't do for yourself. So I think that's all backwards. That's all desperation. That's all, I don't have time. And being in a long game with short patience is not a recipe for success. So basically, get with people who are doing it, not talking about it. People can share their results by today. Here's what I did today. LinkedIn's like a camera. It develops your results very quickly. Once you do something, you know what you got. More importantly, getting behind number, getting away from numbers. Look at the qualitative response. If nobody who responds to you could ever think of doing business with, and your interest is doing business, doesn't that kind of like make sense that it doesn't make sense? So I would rather get 10 quality, relevant responses. And that could be anywhere. I do polling all the time. I think if you're not doing polling, it's like starting off a road trip with no gas in the tank. Why not? It's an add-on. It's like air conditioning. So here's what I say. Make sure your call to action is tight. Make sure you are following your own call to action to distinguish and differentiate yourself from the crowd. Elevate yourself in the way you do things. Eventually it's not what you say, it's what you do. It's what people see, not what they hear. Show is better than telling. So why don't you just really maybe do this? Commit for a week. Sit down for an hour. Put together a plan by the day, what you're going to do, how much time you're going to do with it, what the expected results should be, and measure against it. Measure to see if you committed to what your commitment was towards time. Did you really put in an 8-hour day? That would be like a big deal. Did you actually do the things you wanted to do? And what did you get for it? And how'd you feel about it? Because there's also an emotional aspect to this. LinkedIn is a very lonely game, frustrating. You can bully yourself right out of it easily. Most people have false expectations with no context. And that's another reason to join a collaboration group. It's like buying vowels for a puzzle. Why not? So, why don't you consider those things? If you only watch a little bit of this recording, watch the whole thing in its entirety. More importantly, if you know anybody who could benefit from what was discussed today, share the video with them. That's part of winning on LinkedIn, is providing value, looking out for people. That's how you build trust and confidence. So, do your share with sharing. How many people share your stuff? And when they do, how appreciative are you? Be the person you want others to be, and you'll attract those people. So anyways, I'll leave you really quickly with the definition of a big shot is a little shot to keep shooting. So have a wonderful rest of your day. I'm always available. Check out my profile, message me. Feel free to look at the URL at the bottom. It gives you all the details on the group. Unbelievable value. Bye for now. Be talking again tomorrow.